Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. We're here today on another of our 12 Days of Simsmas countdowns. Today is day, what is it? 10 maybe? Day 10? So we are approaching the end. Christmas is just around the corner. Santa is preparing for the big day. And we're building a gift shop. This idea was actually not really given to me. I just watched a video, loved it, and stole it. So that's what we're doing today. One Girl Games on YouTube, she had a bit of a break and then she's come back full force with some amazing videos. Highly recommend her. I will link her down below and the video that I'm specifically talking about. But she built one a couple weeks ago now, I think. And it was called Kringle's Toy Store. And she made this really fun toy shop for like a festive build. It's based on ones she'd been to in like Germany and Austria and things. And I think it turned out really cool. And I loved the idea. I was still a couple ideas short for my 12 Days of Simsmas. So I decided a gift shop sounds fun and I want to do it too. I obviously don't want to like steal her idea. I'm using air quotes, by the way. I personally don't think you can have ownership of an idea, and I don't really think anyone can steal an idea as such, especially something in The Sims where there's so many different ways of doing things. Anyway, that's by the by. I didn't want to do a toy shop just like her. You know, I did want there to be some sort of like twist or originality, you know, like not that gift shop's super original, but I wanted there to be a bit of a difference between our videos. Like I didn't want to come and like steal her thunder, because like although I personally don't think there is, you know, like such a thing as like ownership of ideas, or like you can't have like a certain type of build that is your build and your build alone. I know not everyone thinks that way, so I don't really want to step on any toes or anything, so I want to do my own thing. But I was heavily inspired by her, which I usually always am, to be honest. Like, she has such like creative things in her channel and I think it's really fun. So yeah, that's kind of where the sort of premise for this came. We're building it next to that atrocious gingerbread restaurant. So I'm kind of trying to mimic the landscaping I did there. I mean, again, using the word landscaping quite loosely, just because, you know, it's the holiday trees that light up. That's about the only landscaping we've got. But I did want to try and make it look a bit more uniform. Obviously that one's meant to look like a cookie, so it doesn't really fit the same vibe. But I did want the trees to kind of look the same, just so you could kind of pretend this was like a shopping district. So what we're working on just now is you've got a staff bathroom and like a staff sort of break area. Just where you can like chill when you're not on tills. And then obviously we've got like the main body of the shop. So that it's a really simple build. I didn't go like OTT here, but I really like how it turned out. I think it came out cute. And although it's a simple build, it's one I'm quite proud of. I like it. My issue is building in winter. To get the screenshots I wanted, I typically have to build in winter. I know there's like a cheat you can use to sort of alter the weather, but with doing so many festive builds, I just decided to like make our world start in winter so I could have snow, rather than cheating every single time I needed a screenshot. But the issue with building in winter is the snow stays in build mode, so it's really hard to terrain paint or like plan out the layout of the ground or things like that, because, you know, the snow is still there. I kind of wish it was like in The Sims 2 or possibly even The Sims 3, I can't remember. But when you went into build mode, the snow would disappear. So you could see what you're placing. I kind of wish The Sims 4 worked a bit more like that, just because it would make landscaping and things a lot easier. Like none of these sort of winter builds I've done have been really heavy with landscaping, just because it's so much of a pain to do. I'm working on the checkout area just now. I didn't want to go like typical red and green for Christmas. I really like the blues on this wallpaper, so I kind of wanted to tie that in, and I wanted it to be like nice and light and airy and things. So I think it's worked out quite well. Also took me ages to remember the bb.ignore gameplay unlocks entitlement cheat, because I kept getting it muddled in my head. I'm rubbish with the really long cheats. But I wanted the security cameras in here just because I thought it was a bit more realistic. Like, shops in real life have CCTV, so I kind of wanted that. I really like how the staff room turned out. I think it turned out quite cute. I enjoyed it. I kind of tried to base it on staff rooms that I've had experience with. Obviously, this one looks a bit nicer than that. But, you know, I just wanted to just be somewhere basic, like you would just come and dink about on your phone for 10 minutes and then go back on tills. I've never had a staff room this nice. I just want to sort of make it clear. Basically, all my staff rooms have like included a fridge and like a sink and a kettle, so you can like make your cup of tea and then go back to work. But yeah, I just kind of want to include that, and lockers so you can put like your handbag and things, because I know some people are quite funny about leaving valuables lying around. Personally, I'm not, but I've always worked in quite nice places where you can like trust people that if you put like your handbag down, someone's not going to rifle through it. I think if I worked with more sort of dodgy characters, I would probably be using a locker as well, but you know, I don't. I would just leave my bag wherever. It's fine, it's fine. Yeah, I also like to use the sort of parent board as like a clock-in board. I got the idea when I was building the sort of Elf's Toy Workshop in Beth's Shell Challenge, Bethley Simmers. Like, I mentioned that in that video, and I really liked that idea, so I kind of wanted to include it here. Because again, it's a little bit of realism, although it obviously won't function that way here. It does just... You know, it's just a bit more realistic that you would have to clock in when you go to work. Like most places of work, especially retail, have some form of clock in. Like I remember, like when I worked in retail, we had a sort of fingerprint scanner. It sounds a lot more high tech than it is, but like you'd punch in like your employee number, like you put in like your desired finger, and then boom, you'd be clocked in. It's just a way so they can like not control your wages, but they can see, you know, how many hours you've worked, if someone comes in late consistently, if someone leaves early. It's just it's a good way to track your employees, I suppose. So as I said, I imagine most places kind of do that. So at the moment, we're just kind of setting up the sort of look for the shop. I didn't want it to be like super full, but at the same time, I wanted there to be enough shelves. So I had fun with it. Again, I have remembered my struggles with sort of having to free play certain objects. So this is like a sort of collectible gift shop. So what I imagine this to be would be sort of handmade goods, like artisan goods you can come and pick up. Kind of a bit like a real life version of Etsy where you get all these cool handmade things. Or like collectibles. That's kind of what I imagine this being. Just because I didn't want to have to free place and resize a bunch of different decorations. So these are all just from Debug. Debug is a blessing and a curse. It's really nice building with Debug, and I'm glad we have the different options for items, but it can be a pain trying to find things you're looking for. But I think this turned out quite cool. We also have like a void critter card section by the tills over here. So I imagine that would be like super rare cards. Because, I don't know, this doesn't really seem like the place you would buy void critter cards. I don't know. They were a collectible. I could put them on the counter. It worked. This I kind of imagine to be like a Fabergé egg thing. Like a display. Like realistically, would you have a gift shop selling about 12 Fabergé eggs? No, you probably wouldn't, because they would need to be insured for about £1 billion. But I wanted to use them. Again, a little Debug collectible. That's all I wanted. I do kind of wish we had more collectibles in the game that you could maybe sell. Because I don't even think you can find the Easter eggs anymore. I'm not entirely sure. From what I remember, it was like an event back in the day that you like collected these. Like you had the chance of finding them in rocks and stuff like that, and you could get the whole collection that way. But I don't even think there's a way you can do that anymore. I'm not sure anyway. I also really like to use the snow globes from City Living, because I think snow globes are something that's pretty wintry, though it's so hard to free place them. Let me know if there is a cheat to stop things snapping to the grid, because that's like the biggest issue I have when I'm trying to free place decorations, is it just snaps to the grid unless you move it out from underneath. And honestly, that does get tedious after a while. Like, that snow globe's not in line, but I have kind of given up by this point. Just because this is sped up ×4 as well. So, however long it took in the video, it took 4 times that long in person. So yeah, it doesn't have to look perfect, it just has to be on the shelf. We've got a couple more Void Critter cards over here, so maybe like the ones by the till or, I don't know, like I said, the rare ones. I also have some of the My Sim dolls, just because, you know, they're kind of a staple collectible in the game. I really like the My Sim dolls. I don't think My Sim has ever found a full collection though. I usually like getting like my nerds to go and collect them. Like, I kind of imagine My Sim dolls to be like the Sims universe equivalent of Pop Funkos, and I really like collecting them, so I usually enjoy my Sims collecting My Sims. But after you get to a certain point, you just have a bunch of the same one that you need to sell repeatedly. So, you know, I've never completed a collection. It's something I would quite like to do. Like, maybe if I was doing like a legacy or something, I could have like a fisherman and a collector, and we could have the gems and the elements and all that good stuff. But it's never happened yet. I have been really wanting to get back into gameplay for a while. I've not been playing much recently. I've been doing a lot of building, which has been really fun. I have been enjoying that as well. It's just strange because primarily I've always been a gameplay enthusiast, but yeah, I haven't really been playing. I've been playing a lot of different games though. I recently bought some things in the PlayStation sale, so I am now the proud owner of Death Stranding. That game, super weird, but really cool. I know a lot of simmers don't really tend to play other games, so I'm not going to describe what I'm playing in great detail, just because I know a lot of you do not care in the slightest. I mean, to be honest, how many of you actually care about my voiceovers anyway? I just ramble. But yeah, I know for a lot of simmers, the only game they like is The Sims, so that's the only thing they'll play. And I mean, that's fine. But honestly, could never be me. I am a huge gamer and I like a lot of different things. So no, I could never just stick to The Sims forever. So here we are placing out some snowflake lights, getting our place to look like a business. I was trying not to use the same sign that I used on the gingerbread house, but you know, these things happen. Also just putting up some garlands. Although typically I don't really see this as like a business that would just operate in Christmas, I did want to make the build Christmassy on the outside, just because obviously this is our 12 Days of Simsmas countdown. I can't do something not Christmassy, right? But I've basically filled Newcrest at this point with different builds, and I'm really enjoying it. Normally, I don't keep my builds placed in the neighborhood. I'll upload them to the gallery and then just demolish them. So it's been fun to see just how much I have built and just how interesting the neighborhood can look. Also, can we just appreciate how wonky the lights are on the side until I realised and had to go and fix them. The ultimate shame. At least I caught it before the builds went on the gallery. Yeah, this is on the gallery, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that. But if you want it in your game for whatever reason, not my best work, but I like how it turned out. And I would recommend downloading it. It is on the gallery. I think it's only like 30,000 as well, which is quite cheap for me. So we are coming to the end of the video now, so I am going to cut off the voice over here. Any comments or suggestions you have, please just leave them down below. I always love, getting your input on things. If you have enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing. It means a lot to me and it is completely free. And I will see you all tomorrow for the next installment in our 12 Days of Simsmas countdown. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!